players or? I
That's
think.
3, 4, 5. Yeah, it's 5 people.
Okay, doc. We're gonna start now. We're gonna go over callouts first. Okay. Nothing in spawn. Well, you shouldn't need to call it, but you got left, right, main, normal shit. This is, like all this is valley. You should call this behind cliff. This is the cliff because it's a cliff. You never notice. You never know that. This is China. This is Korea. Right here is a little funny spot. Snipers play here sometime.
See.
This is Japan. This is grass. This is Maine. This is pocket. This area right here. This is concrete. This is connector. This is rock. And I think that's about it. Actually, no, there's a few more. Up here is called Pride. And then up here is either called Seagull or Highlander Spot.
Can we call it Prejudice? Because I think
You
it'd be
call
funny.
You can call anything whatever you want, as long as your team agrees on it.
Smile.
Oh, I just forgot. Right here, this is porch. Because it's a porch.
That is true.
That's all the funny things. I'm gonna go over the rollout real quick. Because this is newcomer, I'm gonna assume you guys don't know too much. So just basic rollout stuff. Crouch and spawn. Everyone except for your medic and demo. The demo man. Oh, I'm not in the blue spawn. My bad. The demo man. The demo man does a funny little jump. Oh wait, he does a little funny jump and spawn. He gets his heal and go whoa. Jump from there to there, and he jumps over here and tries not to die. Your soldier, please run the whip, and then you whip your heavy. Try and give a whip to your sniper so you can get there a little bit faster. As for the mid fights, basic positioning. Try and play around your demo. Your demo kind of play to the left or the right. It's really his choice. Try and play off the spam. Your demo should be calling the damage that he gets. If he's not, he's throwing. Flank, you play on the flank. This is engineer, scout, and soldier. Good spot for soldier to play is right up here. It's pretty nice. But if your flank is winning, you can also pressure, go here. Just always chill over here 90% of the time. That's awesome sauce. Heavy, you can play over here. Heavy cliff, very awesome, very cool. Your sniper can play in a few different spots. This is dog shit. Please don't play cliff. China is a pretty good spot. It's where a lot of snipers like to play. There's also like the funny strat of going flank. I wouldn't recommend doing that every mid, but you can do whatever. Porch is also fine, but I would recommend China for the most part. I'm not a sniper player. I'd recommend asking a sniper player what their thoughts would be. So let's say you are owning them. You're winning. You're winning so hard that you win the mid fight. Important thing to note, the first cap on the mid is basically random when it comes to denying your players. Whenever you capture the control point, the respawn timer changes. So try not to delay any of your players. If any of your players are respawning in like 4 or 5 seconds, try and delay the cap a little bit. Just makes them respawn a little bit easier, lets you hold a little bit better. So when it comes to forward holding, or well, not forward holding, just holding the point, you can play dog red. Dog red's okay, not really preferable. Dispenser right here is awesome sauce. Your med should be playing, just kind of around here. Just chill around your demo, really. your demo could do the funny like little spam thingy. A lot of teams will like to group up behind cliff there. Do a little spam over here. Heavy, you can sit up here. That'd be dope. That'd be epic. And deny very many bombers. I wouldn't recommend playing too forward because sniper exists and you will die. Being a little disjointed on the callouts or the player positioning. My bad. But sniper, rock is the best position in the entire game. You can see literally everything. You can see back there, and you can see over there. I really recommend playing over there. You're also very protected by your team. There's also this spot. This is another very common spot people like to play in. Very dope. Your flank, trying to get on their concrete. That's awesome. You deny the players. It is awesome sauce. I think I might be forgetting a class. Oh yeah, Spy. You just do whatever, you know. Pyro should be calling Spy time and whatnot. That is
Vanish.
Yeah.
For the sake of brevity, can you explain what spy time is?
So Spy time is essentially counting down like when Spy is going to be like. Spy time is essentially just, you know, when the spy is going to be attacking. There's a lot of times where spy time is a thing. One of the main times you'll hear the term used is the time between when their spy respawns and the time it'll take him to be near your team. So I don't exactly remember what it is on product. I think it's like 6 seconds or something. So your pyro should be like, oh my gosh, their spy respawned, and then count down like 6 seconds and be like, oh my god, spy time, and turn around. There's a few other times where spy time would be. Sacks. Whenever people are trying to kill your players, go on in for the sacrificial play. Might not happen in lower divs, coordinated sacks, but is something to be aware of. And just kind of generally whenever your team is fighting, that's kind of when spy will be. Spy is something your pyro should be trying to keep track of. Or spy is something your pyro should be keeping track of, but it is also each individual player's duty to be turning around. A lot of times, especially in lower divs, I'll see like their medic die 5 times to the enemy spy, and the medic would be like, "Oh my god, pyro, why aren't you spy checking?" Meanwhile, the medic is like not turning around a single time. But that is a thing that will just kind of come with time, especially. The game sense will try and kick in. But sorry for that little tangent. Let's say you're not winning. You lost the mid fight. Oh no, what's going on? So there's a few things that can happen here. If your med dies on the mid, you can set up for a sack wave. What's a sack wave? A sack wave is when you have a coordinated effort to try and kill either the enemy medic or, you know, just kill some important players. Number one focus most of the time, the primary focus of the sack wave will be to kill the enemy medic, particularly during Uber ad. Normally, you'll have your demo, soldier, and sometimes spy sack.
Vanish.
Waves. Yes.
Once again, can you explain what ad is?
Uber advantage is kind of as it suggests. It's when the enemy medic has, or well, I guess a more appropriate term would be disad. So when you're on disad, that essentially means the enemy medic has more Uber charge percentage than you. So if your medic dies on the mid, by the time he's back up, you're probably going to be around 70 or 80% disad, which essentially just means their medic has 70 to 80%, you have 0. Not something too important to usually be keeping track of, but when it gets to those big numbers, like, you know, full ad, that full ad is, you know, they have full Uber charge. You do not. You're around like 20% or so, is when I usually call full ad.
So if it's
Uh,
only like a 10 or 20% difference, you could basically call it even.
Yeah, you can. But around 10 to 20% doesn't matter too much usually. It's not something that a lot of open medics will really be keeping track of anyway. But if you can keep track of it, that is awesome. That's a
Jim
skill
is
that...
Jim is playing sixes with us, so he's doing medic on both. He should be getting pretty okay at that.
Nope. Yeah, Uber advantage. It's a lot more important in sixes. In Highlander, it doesn't matter as much, but...
Yeah, I think it'll translate over.
Yeah.
Explain what the combos are.
The combo is traditionally demo, heavy, medic, and pyro. That's traditionally the combo. On this map, actually, I was going to get into it a little bit later, but we can get into it now. Sometimes the scout can be on the combo. If your scout has particularly good DM, or is confident at least, he can come over, and instead of playing on the flank, he can play on the combo, and take Ubers, and do massive damage. I've seen it done in higher divs, and it works very well if the team is not the greatest. Well, I've seen it work against good teams, but it's besides the point. But traditionally, this is pretty much the only map where Scout is super good. Every other map, the combo is demo, heavy, pyromed. But, as I was saying earlier, so a sack wave, you're usually going in when you're on very big disad, usually like 50 or 60% or higher, and you wanna end that enemy medic's life. Your demo should be calling when he wants to sack, and he should be saying, "Hey guys, can we sat?" And it is on your team to be like, "Hey, I can sack, let me rotate for a buff," or "No, I can't." So during a sack wave, the main thing you want to do, make sure your demo's buffed, make sure your soldier is buffed. Those are the two important classes, because they are going to be the ones that go ahead and let me not die, go do this or whatever, and then bang bang for the enemy medic. A good thing to do here is your medic should be playing far back, definitely not in a position where he will not die. Being with a scout can be nice. Because of how sack waves work, if anyone else can get in on it and try and create a distraction, that is awesome. Just the main thing to focus on is having your medic not die. If your medic dies, then the sack wave is basically pointless. If you get the enemy medic, that's amazing. Wait for your players to come back up, and then you can start pushing in. If you don't get the medic, that is okay. You just play really passive, and then, wait for your Uba. And now you might be saying, what does playing passive mean? Kind of as it sounds. Playing passive means to play far back. Playing passive on this map particularly entails your combo usually chilling around behind cliff, or more ideally behind house. On these passive holds, especially because sniper is very important on this map. So one of the big things that you're going to be trying to do when you're playing passive is make sure you're tanking your sniper, trying to take that SVS. If their sniper dies and you guys are at even Uber, that's pretty much like a green signal that you guys can walk. I cannot state how important keeping your sniper buff is and having your sniper stay alive. Protect your sniper, please. A lot of newer teams, they can struggle with that, and it really hinders their capability, especially if their sniper is particularly good. Your sniper will win games, trust me. He's the most important class in Highlander, almost, in most scenarios. So, other than that, your flank can be playing around here. I wouldn't recommend getting too far deep. You can definitely play on concrete. Just try not to die. Very important. You're probably going to mainly be playing around here. Just really try not to idle is a big thing. always make sure you're at least doing something, keeping track of something, or just playing the game. Be very careful of sightlines here. You just really don't want to die. So yeah, your flank doing the flank things, your demo doing the funny things, spamming, trying not to die. There's a lot of spam angles here. Blah blah blah. And then yeah, I forgot to say, sniper spots when you're a bit passive right here can be dope sometimes. Depends on how forward their team is. China. Is to take it over here. There's a bit more distance to cover sometimes. You're on a bit of low ground. You're also on a bit of low ground here. There's also more space to cover here. I really prefer going this way and doing this. Or the awesome approach, like the awesome sauce, is going cliff, dropping down, and using. Because for the most part, as long as their sniper's not hard scoping you, you're pretty safe here. You can just drop off and you're right next to them. There's a lot less space to cover. Very important thing is, just make sure you don't use too early. For example, if you use as soon as you get right here, you're gonna waste a couple seconds of your Uber, at least like a fourth of it, just trying to walk into them. And by that time, they get to like just milk out the Uber for a couple extra seconds. And oh no, you have a much worse Uber. So, really recommend dropping off the cliff. Or going through main. Just try and it's a bit of a balancing act. You don't want to use too late, so you drop your players. Dropping your players essentially means someone that would be Ubered doesn't get Ubered and they die, which is always really bad. But well, yeah, you always want to be focusing the sniper, but when you're about to take an Uber, it's kind of up to your demo. Does your demo want to try and go for a sack before you Uber, try and get some players, get some nice picks, or does he just want to take it? It's kind of up to your demo to decide. Most of the time, usually it's better to just take it, but I guess that's kind of up to you, or up to your demo rather. So during an Uber, what's going on? What's going on during an Uber? What am I supposed to do? I know our demo and medic are shiny and shit, but what are we doing? I'm gonna focus on combo here. Combo, heavy. You are the single best class for what is called post. What is post? After Uber is essentially what that means. After the exchange has taken place. Exchange being Uber exchange. Both team use Uber. So in the post, heavy is one of the most important classes in the game because you can just go burt when all the people are not shiny. Try and stay alive. Just what I used to do on heavy, I played like 2 seasons. I would just trail my combo a little bit and try not to take too much damage. If your medic has to flash you, that can be a bit rough. So just try not to take too much damage. Just trail a little bit and then kind of chill and cover, and then what you can do is like count out 8 seconds. So just count down from 8, and then by that point, the Uber is guaranteed to be over. And you can, peek around whatever cover you're hiding behind, and you can go Brit. Pyro, it's a bit situational. Sometimes having your pyro in the Uber exchange can be pretty useful because your pyro has air blast and he can just air blast everyone and just move them away. If you're not doing that, so say your demo is like right here, your medic's like right here. As a pyro, you probably want to be like right here. Don't take spam, but also if anything's coming to like kill you guys, you can play the game. You can shoot them, and it's awesome. Trust me. Just try not to take damage. Big thing for the combo. Try not to take too much damage. Flank, as I said earlier, your scout could rotate over to your combo and be like, "Hey guys, we're gonna use." And then your scout just goes in and then he shoots everyone and you win. If you don't want to do that, then you're kind of just chilling over here. During the Uber, it can be really nice for your flank to try and take over their flank if their flank is particularly distracted, or if their flank is like missing a soldier or like a scout or an NG, or missing one or two players. Taking their flank can be awesome. As a soldier, though, soldier is really awesome. What I would definitely recommend doing is if you hear that your combo is about to take an Uber, I would really recommend staying healthy. Try to chill over here and be like, "Oh my god, it's Uber charge time." So what? Slam. I don't know why I did that. So you can be like chilling over here. There's a few jumps you can do. I would recommend counting down from like 7 or so, or just wait for your team to be like, "Okay, guys, our Uber's over." Cause what you can do as a soldier boy is you can do something like this. I'm trying to do a little better. I'm a bit rusty. Do something like this or whatever. And look, you're in. You shoot the people. Probably won't be expecting you for the most part. That's really good. There's a lot of different things you can jump off of. This is like one of the ones I see used a lot. There's also, and I'm not a soldier player, but there's this. Get creative. You can even like spend like 20 minutes just jumping around the map. Improvise. Anything that is a tall wall is suitable. I agree. Anything you can jump off of, you should jump off of. Something like this. Oh my god, you're in. You're in deep. You win. And that's awesome. Soldier is, especially on cough maps, probably better than heavy for the posts. Because you can just get in and do a bunch of damage. Something to keep in mind during your Uber exchanges as combo. Know what your positioning is and try and be cognizant of what your team is doing. If you notice that your team is like really weak, has been taking a lot of damage, and you guys don't have positioning, once your Uber is about to end, once you're at like 30%, you should be backing off. You should be like, "Oh, we're losing this." Just try and back off a little bit and try to not die. That's very important. It can be pretty rough sometimes in the lower divisions, or if you're just a bit inexperienced. And I mean, it's something that even like IM teams can struggle with. Is just like ending Ubers. Try to be very important. Try to know what's going on. Do soldiers try to sack when their own med dies in Highlander? In Highlander, it's more of a coordination thing. If your team is like dying, if your team like wiped, or like everyone's dead, I mean, you might as well go in. You're not really losing anything if like most of your team is dead. But if say that your demo's alive and everything, it's usually a lot better to like try and coordinate. But yeah, just make sure you know where your Uber is ending. Try not to get caught out is the main thing. But let's say you're winning. If you're winning, you can go deep. But also be very be very aware. Try and realize what's going on. It can be like your pyro and heavy's job a lot of the time to try and realize, are we winning this or are we losing this? If you're losing it, you should be playing a little back. If you're winning, you can play a bit more forward. If you're winning the Uber, what can happen a lot is, like I said earlier, soldier sack. The soldier the soldier's not stupid, and he's like, oh, my team is losing. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and not fuck up the jump. I'm gonna go ahead and do a little sack and kill their medic. But if your pyro knows that they're winning, then the pyro can be like, oh my god, I'm looking in the sky. Oh, there's a soldier there. Let me press one button, and then he wins. Same thing with heavy. A lot of the time, you're demo shooting the one thing, you're shooting the other thing. If you're Ubered, burt. Oh yeah. One thing I forgot to mention. Sorry, this has been a bit disjointed. It's been a little bit. I'm trying my best, but really in Ubers, very important thing. Call focuses. Call who you want to kill. You wanna go in and you wanna call your damage and you wanna call focuses. So your demo goes in and is like, okay, we're using in right. Okay, focus medic. Okay, their medic used. Focus the non-shiny people. If you see that there's multiple people around the medic, then oh my god, that means that multiple people aren't going to be shiny. Shoot the non-shiny people. Force the medic to flash those people, and then their Uber is worse. Your Uber is awesome. Yeah, call your damage, call your focuses. Your demo should be calling, okay, focus blank person. It's very important that you guys are on the same page during the Uber and you're shooting the same thing. So yeah. Your flank, be calling everything. Make sure your team's aware of what you're doing a lot of the time. That can be dope. But like a big thing during Ubers is just try not to die. If you're weak, it's okay to back off a little bit, even if it means giving them a bit of space. I think that's the general gist of Ubers. A few other things to mention. Flank, please call if you're dead. I've had it happen even in like main, where my flank will be dead and they'll say nothing. And then, oh my god, look at this. There's no one on the flank. Their soldier gets behind for free, or their scout gets behind for free. And what would you know? Their soldier does one jump, kills your entire team. There's a scrim I played where I was winging medic. I died 7 times to a pyro on product. So please, if your flank is dead, just call it. And then there's some people, and then people can call it out. Spy hiding spots. A big thing to keep in mind is spies fucking love corners. However, specific spots, back here, is frequent. Over here inside a house is pretty frequent. China is pretty frequent. This corner right here, I've seen a lot of spies decloak in. Around in main. It's not too often that a spy will be on flank, but he can like sometimes decloak back here. It's just most corners and turns is where spies is going to be decloaking a lot. Some spies even like decloak it just in house kill the teleport. So that's that. I feel like I might be forgetting something. It entirely think. Spy. Very important thing. Try not to like die. If you're not entirely sure that you can get a pick, just don't go for it. Better to be safe than sorry. Very important. to your demo should be asking your spy like what's going on. Spy should be alive. Yes, spy should be alive unless it's an important pick. In lower divs, you can usually get away with a lot. To be honest, like I played EU spy and I would just go ham. But sometimes the enemy team is not so dumb, so it's better to go off of information. A pet peeve I had when I was playing Spy is the demo just wouldn't ask for info. Your demo and Spy should be like working off each other a lot. So your demo can be like, okay, what's their Uber? Where are they playing? And then your Spy can be like, oh my god, they're at 50% Uber and they're playing behind Rock. And then your demo can be like, oh, okay, we're at like 0%. So they're playing behind Rock? Okay, that's awesome. Can we set up for a stack wave? And then your players get buffed, and then your demo's like, okay, Spy, you ready? And then the Spy is like, yeah. Or he's like, no. And if he says no, then the demo's like, fuck you, we go anyway. And then if he's like, yeah, then, you all, your demo bombs in, your soldier bombs in, your Spy goes in. Oh my god, their entire team dies. Or, like, their medic. Yeah, Spy pinches a lot. Like a really good thing. Teams don't. A lot of the time, teams can like not care or like don't notice until like high AM. So those sacks where you have your Spy pinch as soon as your demo and soldier sack, those can be really effective. A lot of teams just like don't know how to counter it sometimes, but it can be. Yeah. I would be careful. Or you can be aggro. And, yeah. Ask questions. It's been a while, and I'm not, like, the best mentor, so if there's any questions you have, or, like, something you thought I left out, please don't hesitate to bring it up. My brain's rattling a little bit. Just, yeah. Does anyone have any questions about specifically like product, anything about it, or like even class specific stuff? I know how to play most classes for the most part. No questions. Okay. Closing thoughts. Oh yeah, loadouts. Stock or degreaser, pretty much personal preference. Tend to be air blasting a lot as pyro, so I prefer to use stock, but it is kind of a personal preference thing. Detonator or shotgun, and then you can run power jack. Sapping usually, or like saps usually isn't too big of a deal on Koth, so you can run power jack. Just helps you get to the front lines a little faster. But yeah, stock and degreaser, personal preference. Shotgun and det, personal preference. How important is it for soldier to win against flank versus pressure? Pressure is very important. Yeah. I would recommend unless you think you can guarantee the kill, pressure is more important. Would Atelier be used? I'll get to the class rundown in a second. So Telly, yes, Telly is always really good. Teleporters win games. So you just have your entrance right there, and then you can have your exit, which should just be placed in house. Oh wait, did I forget to call this house? I might have. That's my bad if I did. Yeah. Literally anywhere in house is fine, like right here, like right there is usually where I see it. As for the pressure thing, I kind of glossed over that, my bad. Pressure is more important than getting kills, but if you can get kills, go for them. Just really important thing to be aware of is not overcommitting. and this goes for every class. Don't overcommit for a kill. Flank kills, especially, aren't really too important in the grand scheme of things. It's better for you to live and not get the kill than to like die and either trade or just like get a kill and then die or whatever. That's just bad. But if you can get a kill, go for it. As for the rundown, I'll go a quick rundown. So, Scout. I'm gonna go over the like loadouts for each class while I do that, because I forgot it's a bit it can be a bit foggy. So Scout, you're on Scattergun, Cleaver, and Rap Assassin. You can run Pistol if you want, but it's not as ideal. Scout, you just do the funny flanking thing. Try not to die. You can spam your projectiles at the enemy players and get free kills. It is awesome. Scout is also surprisingly good for killing spies. So, you know, do the thing. If you see a spy, I'd really recommend try and throw a cleaver or a ball at him, get him to bleed. You see him while he cloak, he die. Yes, free kills glitch. 2023 working. Soldier Boy, run stock or rocket launcher or original. That's up to you. There's literally no difference. You want to be you want to be trying to spam a lot, get free damage. Good spot to play is up here. You can kind of spam into connector, a little cheeky angle right there. You should be pretty aware of when to bomb. Pretty good times to bomb are obviously when your demo calls it. If you see a lot of people on your team are dead already, like 4 or 5, it's usually fine to just go for like a sack and try and get a kill or two, especially like medic. Sniper, honestly, if like half your team's dead, I wouldn't even go for sniper, because by the time if you kill the sniper, by the time your team is like ready to like start aggressing again, that sniper's gonna be back up in positioning. So I'd recommend going for demo or medic. Other times to sack, obviously, you know, when your demo calls it. During Ubers, as I mentioned earlier, very important. Try and count down, you know, when the Uber is going to be fading. And then you can go in, and then you can not fuck up the jump, and you can get in all the damage in the world. There's some other times. Don't be afraid to just be like, guys, should I sack? Don't be afraid to ask questions. Because your team can be like, okay, or your team can be like, no, we need you. Pyro, already mentioned the loadout. Your main job is to prevent your team from dying to spy. That's not your main job, but it's one of the most important jobs as Pyro. Be turning around constantly, be shooting the flames around. And then another thing is be paying attention for bombs. It's kind of like a game sense thing almost, knowing when they're gonna bomb. But you know, if your med, if you kill their med, it's, you know, basically like a okay, our med's gonna get sacked on. So yeah, very important. If their med dies, usually they're gonna sack. So be careful of that. Other than that, like I said, your main job is just kind of be turning around. Be careful of spy. If you see a spy, yell spy, 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 spy. I'm just kidding. Don't yell that. Say spy on blank class, or like spy new demo, something like that. Just yelling spy over and over accomplishes nothing, because where is the spy? Who knows? Is our pyro talking about our flank? Is he talking about our combo? Is he talking about our sniper? Could be anyone. Or just like say the person's name. Whatever gets the point across that there's a spy on a particular player. No, because again, who's supposed to turn around? It doesn't really communicate too much. Something that doesn't get mentioned probably as often as it should on Pyro is if you see a spy, something very effective you can do is just pressing right click. There's been a lot of times where I've seen Pyros just kind of hold M1 at a spy, and the spy just gets a free backstab. Because, believe it or not, spies don't instantly die when you press your flamethrower. So if you see a spy and he's about to like, backstab someone, just press right click. Letting the spy live is better than having someone die. Because yeah. So yeah, you can just be like, spy on our combo, and then no one turns around, it's okay, you just press right click and he doesn't get stabbed. Easy peasy. Just try not to be aware of how air blast works. Don't air blast him into the person he's trying to stab. I've seen that happen and it's really funny. That's about it for Pyro. As demo, you're the main caller. You call mainly. Wow, really? An important thing is try and be aware of what's going on at all times. Ask questions like, do we have any damage? Do we know where their team is? What are they playing? What's their Uber? Be asking stuff like that. You want to be spamming a lot, and you just want to be getting damage in. Really, you're the main damage guy. You see demos, they get 500,000 DPM, something like that. I don't know. It's kind of hard to go into really it's hard to gloss over demo as a class, but I mean that's really the only thing I can say. You're kind of free to run whatever. I mean, full stock is usually the best way to go, but I've seen loose cannon quickie demos roll teams. So I would probably run stock though, just for consistency. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Not too much I can say about demo. Just spam, call stuff, do damage. Make sure everyone's on the same page. Very important. Heavy weapons guy. On pretty much every map, Tomislav is going to be a lot better than stock. But if you're feeling a little bit rusty, or you feel like you're having a bad aim day, it is perfectly fine to swap to stock. Just Tomislav is usually a lot better, especially because of the long range capabilities. And then Sandwich and Fist of Steel. You usually are running the exact same loadout every single time. Tommy, Sandwich, Fist of Steel. Unless you're having an off day. There's some exceptions, but I'll go over that when it comes up. As heavy, big thing to be aware of is you do kind of have the same job as Pyro almost. It can be good for your heavy and Pyro to coordinate sometimes. Be like, okay, our Pyro is going to be spy checking 24/7, and our heavy is going to be trying to deny bombs 24/7. So that way, both people aren't doing the same thing at the same time. As a heavy, you kind of want to be playing a little bit back sometimes. Big thing is try not to take excessive damage. It's a thing that I see happen a lot. And honestly, I don't blame people, because heavy is surprisingly difficult. You just don't want to be a damage sponge. I've seen logs where heavies will take 30 or 40% beam. It makes me cringe a little bit, but I don't blame you if you do. I did that for an entire season. Just try not to take damage. You are, as I mentioned earlier, you're very important in post, Ubers. Try not to take damage, try not to die when an exchange is going on. And then during the post, you're counting down, and then whenever the post is, that's when you can come out from wherever you are and start going Burt. Heavy is kind of a simpler class. You just kind of sit in a spot and you do damage. You just shoot the guys. Here, Cliff, Rock. That's pretty good. That's about it. What's next? NG. I'm not an NG player by any means. I have like 40 hours on Eleanor's class, but you're a flank player. You do the flank things. Teleporter, as I mentioned, go in house, easy peasy. Something you can do. I don't see a whole lot of NGs do this, like even in high divs, so it's probably not too important. But you can, oopsies. You can go Eureka Effect for a little bit cheaper tele, but it really isn't too important. And then you just swap back to Gunslinger after you place your tele. Not too important. If you don't do it, it probably doesn't matter. But as NG, you really want to focus on having your minis. On this map, you really want to be running Shotgun, Wrangler, and Gunslinger. Because minis are the fucking bane. I hate minis. Minis are annoying. And everyone will agree. So you'll make the enemy team mad. Place them pretty much wherever you want. But a really good spot is concrete because you can kind of wrangle it and you can shoot the you can shoot those guys. If you place it back here, you can shoot the enemy flank and they'll be like, "What the fuck? Kill the mini, please. We can't do anything." It is awesome. Dispenser spots though, behind rock can be awesome. Behind in here in pocket is awesome. Over here sometimes can actually be good if you're like really passive. But I mean that's kind of it for NG. He's just a flank player. He does the funny things. Try not to die too much. Medic! I'm playing main medic, maybe. I don't know. I have a few tryouts. I like to think I know somewhat about medic. On this map, and for literally every map, I hate it. Medic is boring. You run the crossbow, you run stock medigun, and you run uber saw. In sixes, you usually run solemn vow, but because of the nature of Highlander, solemn vow isn't really that good, in my opinion. Just because the information a lot of times can be drowned out. So Spy can do that. People are usually going to be calling their damage, so it's kind of redundant. As medic, really important thing. The first thing I'm going to say, please don't forget it. Your sniper gets heal priority over like everyone else. Please, please, please buff your sniper. It hurts to see it when I see a sniper that has like 2k healing. And I'm like, oh my god, you guys lost? Holy shit. Your sniper wasn't able to do anything. Oh my god. Your sniper gets buffed. He takes the SVS. The sniper dies. You get to walk for free. I cannot state that enough. I can't say it enough. Please buff your sniper. Other than that, crosshair placement. Crosshair placement isn't talked about as frequently in TF2 as I feel like it should. You want to be like looking up. Your crosshair should be like here. I'm gonna be honest. Because a lot of times, especially on mids, they're gonna send like soldier bombs and stuff. Oh, I forgot to mention that. Sorry. I knew I was forgetting something on soldier. Real quick tangent. On mids, it can be good to bomb. But it is really dependent on like what's going on. Just try and be aware if their team seems a bit distracted. You go in for that fat bomb. But if their team is kind of expecting it, it's better to not bomb because you'll probably get nothing. But back to medic, right? Crosshair placement is awesome. Because even like something like here, you can still see what's going on and you can still see your team. But like anything that's in the sky for no reason, you just get to see for free. Please, for the love of God, don't play pocket. Pocket is dog shit. Playing behind rock is tremendously dope. For your medic, at least. I would recommend probably not playing towards main as much, because if you go to surf a rocket, you can just like smack your head on this. It's a lot harder to surf from here. I have bonked my head on that more times than I am willing to admit. I would try and if you can't help it, it's fine. Perfectly fine. You can play there. But I would try and gravitate more towards here because you can you can surf to here sometimes. I've done it like once. It's sad when it happens because you usually get cut out. But if you're playing here, you can try and surf up the cliff. You can surf to China, or if you get a good enough surf, you can just kind of surf away. And even if you get kind of a bad surf, you get something like this. You're bonking your head on like this. It's a little bit further back, slightly less shit. Plus, you have a pack right here. It's awesome. Try and play around there. Like down here. Be adamant about your team's health. Just be like, oh my god, demo. Our entire team has 2 health. The collective team HP is 9 health. Okay, chill out for a second. And then your demo can be like, oh, okay. That's important. Keeping track of Ubers. Not so important in Highlander, but it's very helpful. Something like 20 to 30% usually isn't too big of a deal. But once it starts getting like 40, 50+%, that's when it starts to get pretty dangerous. What else? Because Jim is you said Jim is playing 6's medic, right? Okay. So I'm gonna say this because yeah. Milking isn't important in Highlander. It is nowhere near as important as in 6's. You don't get really too much benefit. If you can milk a couple extra seconds, that is great. But it's much better to use when your demo or whoever you're using on has got overheal, because they'll be ending the fight with so much more health. And also, like say someone comes in and you have to flash them. Oh shit, my demo isn't 50 HP when I go to flash someone. So, I can keep it on someone else for a little bit. It's just a lot better to not, excessively milk. This is a really bad habit that I had, and it definitely cost some exchanges. Just be careful of that. And then, what else? Oh yeah, be very aware of spy. Be aware of spy time. Try and be aware of, when he's going to attack. Like I said, there's a lot of moments where spy will be, so just be turning around just constantly. I think as a medic, I spent 40 or 50% of my time just turning around. So spies no kill. Another very very important thing. This is extremely important for every class, but medic more so than anything else. Always be aware of where sniper is. That is extremely important. Sniper calls are really, really important. A really big pet peeve of mine is when people are like, "Oh, I died to sniper," and they don't say where. There's no information. If you die to sniper, always say where he is. Be like, "I died to sniper. He's on rock. I died to sniper. He's China." That way, your team knows. Well, one, oh, okay, that player on my team is now dead. But more importantly, oh shit, there's a sniper there. Let me not die. So if the sniper's playing China, whoa, we're over here and he can't see us. If sniper is over there, oh, we go over here, he can't see us. It's awesome, really. I think that's about it for medic. Sniper. I'm definitely not a sniper player. I just, kind of go DM mode. But try not to go the same spot every time. You will get pre-fired and you will die. As I said earlier, cliff is awesome. You can drop down here sometimes. Porch is awesome. There's a funny spot. You can get on here, right here. I wouldn't recommend using it too much. Spot that a lot of people, even in IM and main, don't know about is this spot. Like I said, Korea. You can get a cheeky few kills here. Can't usually go in Japan. On the rollout, I mean, I wouldn't recommend going here too much, but there can definitely be a lot of times. Just try and be aware. Your team should hopefully be calling, where the other team is. So you just gotta play in accordance to that.
I do have a question about comms, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
So, in the effort of preventing too much clutter, are there any specific things that newer players tend to want to call out that aren't really that important?
There's a lot of things. Don't mauled, is the #1 thing I can say. Definitely can be a problem. Be like, oh my god, I died to their fucking sniper again. Or like, oh my god, their spy killed me for the 4th time. Pyro, what the fuck are you doing? Shit like that gets annoying. Useless calls can be like where their NG is, for example. Like, NG's on flank. Oh my god, no way. Try not to call stuff like that. If someone's like in their default positioning, that's usually just an assumption you can make normally. I definitely used to hear useless damage calls a lot. If somebody takes like 20 or 30 damage, not really too important. Like saying, oh my god, their demo took 20. That, you can't do anything off of that. That's gonna get healed back within 2 seconds. I would start calling damage at like 40 or 50. If comms are a bit empty, your flank can communicate with each other a bit more. But if the demo is talking a lot or their combo is talking a lot, I would honestly kind of like refrain a little bit. As flank. There's just some funny calls that can happen. It can clutter up comms a little bit. Also for heavy, it's not worth calling damage, even up to like 50. I would only start calling damage on heavies at like 70. Because 50 health, that's like, what, a 6th of heavy soul HP? So it's not really, too big of a deal. I'd start calling heavy damage at like 70. Yeah. As I mentioned earlier, sniper calls, don't say, oh my god, I died to their fucking sniper, oh my god, I hate sniper, or whatever the fuck, I don't know. Just say, I died to sniper, he's at rock, or I died to sniper at rock, something like that. And yeah, that's kind of it. I think there's a few I'm forgetting, but if like one of you guys like stream or something, I might tune into I might like be in your comms, so I can. There might be a few other things I can point out, but that's the general gist. Just try not to. That only matters in matches. In scrims, you can have to delay at 0 seconds. I don't know. It's up to you, but like. Oh, well, I stream like most of my tryouts and stuff, and I don't think I ever have a delay unless it's a match. But I mean, it's up to you. If you want to delay, you can have it. Not too big a deal unless it's a match. But yeah, I mean, the only other things I can say is like, if it's not pertaining to the game, don't call it. And real quick, I think we are running a little bit out of time here. Speed. There's a few things you can do on this map. Usually what I did when I played Spy, I played like a season and a half of it. I would run Latranger, Stock Watch, and Stock Knife. That's usually the most reliable, but you guys can like, your spy can like run Revolver if he wants and do some gun spying. I'm gonna be honest, I did a bit of like Dead Ringer gun spy. I wouldn't recommend it, but it can be pretty fun. Big Earner, I've also seen used a little bit. It can be less than optimal sometimes, but if you feel like you're getting away with a lot, you are definitely free to run Big Earner. I would definitely say to not use Return Reward or Kunai. Kunai is like, if their spy is winning with Kunai, there's something going wrong. Same with your Eternal Reward. Your Eternal Reward can be like, okay, on some less experienced teams, but most of the time, it's not going to be worth it. Also, Spycicle. You're no Spycicle. Kind of up to you to make. You gotta make the informed decision. But that's pretty much it. Enforcer isn't good on this map. There is a map it's good on, but I'm not gonna spoil you for that. It's gonna be a secret. But for the sake of time, I'm gonna put us on. I'm gonna go put us to Asheville. I don't remember which fucking version it's on, so I want to go look at the map list real quick. I'm sorry, I haven't played Highlander in like 3 seasons or something. Unless anyone. Yeah, I was told.
Yeah, we were-
as well.
Yeah, we're gonna do 2 originally because that's what the other team wanted to do. But I haven't heard back from anybody, so yeah, keep
We're
doing
going-
that. I'm gonna go harass
Alright.
Ent some more.
Cough. Ring me, ring me, ring me, ring me, ring me, ring me. Going to Cough. We're going to Asheville.